Have you ever driven past a mountain of twisted metal? It might look like a junkyard, a final resting place for things that are broken, rusted, and forgotten. But what if I told you that pile of so-called trash is actually a gold mine? This isn't waste. It's a resource, waiting for its next life. And the story of how it gets there is one most people never think about. It's a quiet, global process that powers much of the world we live in. Metal has a unique, almost magical property. Unlike many other materials, it can be melted down and reformed almost infinitely, without ever losing its fundamental qualities. This scrap metal, collected from old cars, demolished buildings, and discarded appliances, begins a journey. It travels to a recycling plant, a place of immense heat and transformation. Here, the metal is loaded into giant furnaces that reach temperatures hot enough to turn solid steel into a glowing liquid river. This molten metal is then poured into molds, creating new bars, sheets, and coils. The process is a rebirth. An old washing machine can become part of a new skyscraper. A discarded bicycle frame might end up in the engine of a brand new car. The metal itself never truly dies. It just changes shape. The real secret to scrap metal's value isn't just its ability to be reborn. It's the incredible amount of energy saved in the process. Creating metal from scratch is an intense and demanding operation. It requires mining raw ore from the earth, often through destructive blasting and digging. That ore then needs to be transported, crushed, and superheated in a complex chemical process to extract the pure metal. It's a system that consumes vast quantities of fossil fuels and releases significant emissions. Recycling, on the other hand, skips almost all of those steps. Using scrap to make new steel, for example, can use up to 75% less energy than making it from iron ore. For aluminum, the savings are even more dramatic, reaching as high as 95%. In a world searching for efficiency, this isn't just a small benefit. It's a game changer. This recycled metal is not a niche product. It is a critical component for some of the world's largest and most important industries. The construction sector, for instance, relies heavily on recycled steel for reinforcing bars and structural beams that form the skeletons of our cities. The automotive industry is another massive consumer. Everything from car bodies to engine blocks is often made with a high percentage of recycled aluminum and steel. This makes vehicles lighter, more fuel efficient, and more sustainable. And then there are the electronics in our pockets and on our desks. They contain small but valuable amounts of copper, aluminum, and even precious metals, all of which can be recovered and reused. Without a steady supply of scrap, the cost of building our modern world would be significantly higher. The journey of this metal is a global one. A pile of scrap from a small town in America might end up on a massive cargo ship, crossing oceans to a factory in Asia. This international trade in scrap metal is a colossal, multi-billion-dollar industry. Giant cranes at busy ports load an endless stream of shipping containers, each packed with sorted and processed metal. Countries with booming manufacturing sectors often don't have enough domestic scrap to meet their demand, so they import it from all over the world. This creates a complex web of supply and demand, where the price of scrap in one country can be affected by construction trends in another, thousands of miles away. It's a hidden circulatory system, moving the raw materials of industry across the planet. Within this global trade, a simple action can dramatically increase value. Just as you might separate paper and plastic at home, industrial recyclers carefully sort different types of metal. Copper is separated from aluminum. Steel is kept apart from brass. This is because when metals are mixed, they create alloys with different properties, which may not be suitable for a specific purpose. Pure, sorted metals are far more desirable for manufacturers and therefore command a much higher price. Sophisticated machinery, including giant magnets and advanced sensors, helps with this sorting process. A little bit of organization on the front end makes the entire recycling chain more efficient and profitable. The more separated the metals, the more valuable they become. So the next time you see a pile of rusted metal, look a little closer. It's not an endpoint. It's a beginning. It's a temporary stop on a continuous, cyclical journey. A reminder that value is often hidden in plain sight. And that sometimes, what looks useless can be the very thing that fuels entire industries.